Okay, hi everybody, it's the Punk. Okay, so here we are, Dandadan, episode 9. This one, I shake my head because the ending is... Okay, so this was episode 9. Merge, Serpo, Dover Demon Nessie. And yes, I said that. I said last week that there was a reveal that I couldn't say, but now I can say it. You know that thing that was in the water that was stalking Momo? It was stalking her and shot a laser out of his mouth? Yes, that was the Loch Ness Monster. What? And Okarum basically mentions it in this episode. He even calls him Nessie. But I think he's in Japan, so maybe you should call him something else. But regardless, he calls him Nessie. And this whole time what he's saying is, apparently, what's her face? Ari, yeah? She loves him, apparently. But let's start off where it really starts here. So we leave off where we left off last week. Now, I need to mention this. The Serperos, the aliens that are attacking them, they stripped Okaru naked. Yeah, he's in the buff. The whole episode, he is butt-ass naked. Remember that for the end. So, essentially what happens, yes, Ari has the abilities of the acrobatic Silky. She can now use them. And she goes to town fighting the Serperos. Eventually, this catches up to them. And we have Mantis Boy, who's basically a mantis shrimp. And if you don't know what a mantis shrimp is a shrimp that lives deep in the water and has its arms essentially has a very powerful punch in the water. Like it could crack a shell of a crab or some kind of crustacean. Moving on. They're fighting him and they're fighting the Serperos. The Serpo. And eventually what happens from the fighting back and forth, that mission was freaking ridiculous in this episode. Holy shit. Most of this episode, though, was comedy. Now, they're going to town, seeing acrobatic Silky, trying to take out Mantis Shrimp, trying to take out this guy, and he blow Okaru away, and this is one scene, he's laying on the desk, holding... I can't with the show. This show is too ridiculous with the comedy. It's too ridiculous. He's holding his junk with his hands. Like, what the... So they continue with the fighting. Eventually what happens is, Ari can't defeat him, the mantis ship guys. He can't punch around. Okarum comes in. He transforms. Even in the transformation state, he's butt-ass naked. But then the Serpos get the upper hand by using their telekinetic abilities on them, and they're struck down. And the mantis ship is punching him. In comes Momo, and there's this back and forth with that bitch and her and Ari. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. Now, they go back and forth. They get the upper hand back until the mantis shrimp actually transforms and looks like a mantis shrimp. This goes through a whole shit of events. Comedy ensues. They keep back and forth bickering because of him trying to kiss Ari. He didn't kiss Ari. Okarun says some things that tug some heartstrings. But basically, this all comes to a head when Nessie, Loch Ness Monster, comes in and blasts the shit out of everything. Two of the Serpo aliens got killed by this thing. And then the Serpo decides to merge with the mantis shrimp and Nessie. And then we get this tremendous battle happening in the water. Momo gets the upper hand by getting rid of the water and destroying the mantis shrimp arms on Nessie. And eventually what happens is Okarun comes in, runs down this runway, punches a hole through the guy. Serpo dead. Everybody's okay. Some other things happen, but, that's essentially what happens. And guess what happens? Because they defeated the aliens, everything goes back to normal. Let's see. Okarun is laying stomach first on top of Momo. They are butt-ass. I can't stop laughing. They're butt-ass naked in front of the hallway. It was like, oh, they did it. Some good guy said that in the episode. He said they did it. I'm like, dude, she has on something. They can't have done it. They're running. They're running, and the entire time they got this funny face. They had a lot of funny faces in this episode. Stripped right from the manga, and I applaud Science Saru for doing that. To make it so much more realistic than it actually is. They could have not shown those faces, but they did. And they just running from the hallway, and after the episode ends, Now, the alien they defeated, I don't want to say what happens to him. Later on, things happen. Okay? I can say that. Now, the animation was great. I have not, and listen, I've heard a few clamorings. People are upset by the color filters. Come on. First of all, let me tell you something. If you don't like Dandadan's animation, then by obvious default, that means you don't like the animation in Kaizen or any other show that does this like this. When they're fighting a certain enemy, this is what happens. Because even if you frame it in the mind of saying, oh yeah, it doesn't happen that way, actually it does in the manga. Every time they fight an enemy like this, everything turns black, and you're fighting them based on their color. Acrobatic Silky was pink, purple. This Mantis guy was yellow-orange. And Nessie was green. Probably green to emphasize the green, murky, murk waters that Nessie's from. Scottish. Scotland. But that's basically the gist. Now, guys, I heard a few people complaining about it on Facebook. Anyway, moving on. Overall, I thought this was a good episode. A lot of comedy. Not a lot of dramatic, emotional moments, but there are a few with Okarun and Momo. But majority of it was comedy and just total insanity. Now, we got 3 episodes left. Unfortunately. No! But that's the story. Now, from my understanding, next week is going to be about, there's this cow. You see the preview, yes. I remember that part. You notice when you see the intro, there is a guy making a funny face. Now, I guess I could say this off the cuff. He's a character we're going to get introduced to next. Now, I don't know if the anime's... I think what they're going to do is this is going to continue in another core. Preferably, probably in the summer. That's at least my theory on this. I don't know how much Anime Science Saru is doing, but right now, from my understanding, this is their bread and butter. So it looks like we might be getting this, I think, in the summer. I don't know. I can't be sure. But this character we later get introduced is an important player. But as far as this episode is concerned, I love the animation. The comedy was on par. Even though it didn't seem like the pacing might have been a little off. But I cannot deny that this was still another banger. Every episode of this series have been bangers. They've maybe like the first three you could say, I as one who's read the manga and seen these come to life, I can't deny the animations is top tier. The acting is top tier. The music is top tier. There's very little to pick at. Now, color filters aside, no. I have to give this a 9 out of 10 again. Because the comedy was fucking amazing. The animation was amazing. The fighting was amazing. They did the fight scenes real justice here. Especially when you look at these shots with acrobatic Silky fighting the aliens. And did you see it in her point of view? And then you have them in the water fighting Nessie. That was grade A shit. But it is going to be upsetting when this ends. It is. It's going to be upsetting. Because when this ends, then you got Bleach. That's going to end too. So, gotta wait and see what the summer or the winter brings. But overall, good episode. Very funny. I just love it. Those faces they make. Ah! They're running through the hallway. And here comes Ari, and she's only got panties on and a bra. It's crazy. It's crazy. But this kind of anime is what I think we need more of. An anime that brings everything together. Sci-fi, supernatural, action, comedy, but at the same time, it can be dramatic. It can be emotional. It can bring a tear here and there. No, it's just me. This is Bonkai Tutu. We'll see you guys later. Yeah, running through the halls naked. Yeah. See ya.